Yo,
Pop the trunk.
yo. You are now tuned in to Pop the Trunk. My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Where is he? Where is he? I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, Irish William.
Thought I was going to get a new name.
With Baba Billy. We're down a man. What is it? No, leave no man behind. We left a man behind. The show must go on, as they say.
Episodio. Help me out here.
I don't know. I don't know what episode we're on, and I don't know what.
It's episode 20.
Yeah, I don't know how to say 20 in Spanish. I can only go from 1 to 10.
That's where we miss the
B. This B goes to Boots, and Zayez gets home at what? 6, 7 a.m., pulls an all-nighter, can't sleep, knocks his whole schedule off, got to go to work, take the girls to school, all of that. So he's packed up right now.
Yeah.
Right?
It's all right. Yeah, he needs some rest, that guy.
So it's a two-man band tonight. It's like the White Stripes.
I'll take it.
You know what I'm saying? We're typically a Nirvana, three-man band. Tonight, could be a little White Stripes.
Could be?
You're the girl.
Ah, thanks.
What's her name? Meg?
I'm not sure.
Meg Stripe?
Bill Stripe.
Billy Stripes.
Billy Stripes.
It's on the 1s and 2s on the Zigga. This is episode 20. We appreciate y'all for being along the ride for 20 episodes. All jokes aside, it does not feel like 20 episodes happened. So, guys, obviously, if you know us from Knock 'em Out the Box, our boxing show, there was a big fight. We're not about to go into all of that.
Right.
We don't want to scare anyone away, but Billy Billions, a.k.a. Billy Bindlesticks, this is what this guy does.
Oh, boy.
He falls asleep before the main event and doesn't get the bet in. Now, the undercard...
Let me preface this by what I typically do.
Please.
Day of usually is,
Please.
Shoot a text to Paz, or he shoots a text to me, and we share the line.
But before that, we ask each other if they're feeling frisky.
Yeah, the answer is usually yes.
Mm-hmm. Very rarely no from Billy.
Right. And I even prefaced it by saying I had nothing to do on Saturday night.
You did say that.
So I was hotsy-totsy to get some action.
Without getting into too much illegal behavior, do you have access to things that you don't pay for, meaning cable? Are you one of them guys?
No.
Okay.
I've done it, but I'm not currently. I don't have the energy for it.
I'm just saying that there's people that their whole life is that.
Right.
I know, and the same people I know, some adults that are in their 40s that
right.
live by the seat of their pants. And by that, I don't mean that I have an issue with the illegal thing. God knows I don't have an issue with anything illegal. That said, it's very much a dangerous way to live if you love something.
Right.
Meaning, I've been at places where these jerk-offs that go, I got it free, or I got the box, or I got the fire stick, or whatever these things are, and it fucking goes blank when it's the fucking thing's about to come on. If you want to live
that's why
like
I got
that,
tired of it.
Right. If you want to live or you want to watch the fucking Ukrainian feed.
Right.
If you want to live like that because you're cheap, have at it. It ain't happening with me.
I'm not coming over.
Right. And by saying, I'm not just putting my foot down for me. I'm putting it down with my involvement with others when I'm involved.
Well, you don't even really do the streaming aspect of like you're still like a cable guy, right?
Well, no, I have everything.
Right.
To cover all my bases.
But through cable, not...
No. I have the Amazon Fire.
Gotcha.
Fire.
But your live
Xfinity.
TV is... Okay.
Correct. My live TV.
Right. To me, you're still wired if you have the live TV.
Yeah, by all calculable measures, I'm still wired, and I have all the streaming things.
Right.
So Hulu, Netflix, Paramount, DAZN, ESPN, Apple, Tubi.
There's another P. Peacock.
The cock.
Your bill's higher now than it would have been if it was just cable TV like in the past.
It's so ridiculous that I won't say it on air because I don't feel like getting the messages.
Right.
Because when I tell you, you're going to be pissed because we're business partners.
Right. Right.
If I tell you just the wired bill, you'll get mad, and then just add all those things I named on top of it.
Right. Because most people ditch the wired bill.
Correct.
Like I have the Hulu Live, which
right,
bumps
which
it
I
up
get,
a bit.
which I get. No, I admit that what I do is crazy. It's just I'm so anal retentive with that stuff. I guess that's a pause in 2026. That if I'm missing one thing because of cutting this or cutting that, I'm not going to.
You said the definitely not doing the jailbroken stuff, but even streaming on like Hulu Live TV, like I had people over for the Super Bowl and it like wasn't a lot, but it did like pause out for a second. And everyone wanted to like kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. But see, I would never, as I would be there and be angry, I still wouldn't put that on you. You pay for it. Right. It comes to your house. It's your service. That's like someone's cable goes out while you're there. Well, you're like, well, I pay, or you paid for a pay-per-view fight. Right. If you paid for a legal pay-per-view fight and it started acting wonky, who can be mad at that? You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, everyone who lives like that, there's always some fucking story or asterisk or addendum to it, Oh, no, it's like, no, it's fine. It's just a Spanish feed. I'm like, well, do you speak Spanish? I can understand it, but who?
Didn't Lanny the Paz always have like some sort of gimmick going on?
He's had gimmicks going on before there were gimmicks. Like since 85. 84.
I remember his like PlayStation was jailbroken.
Correct.
Somehow.
Correct. He's still fucking wrapped up in a bunch of. Remember, I called his basement the Den of Iniquity?
I missed that.
Yeah, he has a new Den of Iniquity at his new house.
It's like upgraded, right?
It is. It is.
From what
there's arcade games in it.
Oh yeah.
He bought new turntables.
So you got the dartboard still up?
I'm not sure. You got to ask him. Because we got the framed Rock the Bell stuff back from him, didn't we? Because that was in his other.
I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, let's get that to the office.
Well, it is at the studio now.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, thanks for being with us for 20 episodes. So Billy, explain what happened. So there was tons of undercards, but when the main card started, there were 3 undercards, including a co-main, and then Boots and Xander. So it was 4 total fights on the main card. There was a bunch more under it for all of us boxing sickos. So I said to you, Billy, I'm looking at all 3 of these undercards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any upsets. That's not going to happen. But I like the over. So the Jahai Tucker fight goes over. And then I don't know what you did. Did you do individual bets or did you do a 3-fight parlay?
I didn't parlay them. I did the first 2. So I did Jahai Tucker over and I did the Whitaker Rivera over. I put that bet in at the same time just because I knew like one would be ending and the next one would be starting.
Okay.
Because then the plan is, which would have been great, if I hit that first bet, now there's a little bit of money back in the account, and then I got 2 more fights to go and get a little risk.
So I'll let you know. Do you know what happened? Because you don't have okay. So Ben Whitaker was fighting that kid Popeye. He has 2 losses, neither by knockout. He hits like a mule and he's got an iron chin. Okay, I didn't expect him to win, but they're really horny about Ben Whitaker, especially in the UK and especially Eddie Hearn. I go, yo, this guy's going to go a little bit because he's tough. Ben Whitaker's going to win. He probably will stop him, but he's going to, give him some rounds. Ben Whitaker knocks him down. He gets up. Next round, Ben Whitaker knocks him down again. He gets up. Ref checks his gloves. I'm good. Waves it off. Next fight. Right? Emiliano Vargas. Same fight. The ref jumps in to stop it, Billy, while they're exchanging, and Bryce Mills is throwing back.
What's that about?
You want to talk about Vegas.
Right. So those both went under because of that.
Correct. Now, I see people all over the place regarding major sports, specifically the NFL and MLB. You'd have to tell me a bit about baseball, and I know nothing about hockey. Just on my Twitter feed from regular people that just like sports. I'm not following NFL people. I'm not following, I'm a huge hoops fan, but I'm not following, you know what I'm saying? I just see what I see because of what I like. That's how your timeline is constructed. You see people joking about it. My algorithm. Well, because I like those things, I'll see them, but I'm not ODing on it. I OD on boxing. You know what I mean? So I always see this league is fixed regarding the NBA and the NFL all the time, to the point where
Definitely the NBA. It seems even more so that happens.
Right. So,
but that's almost come out to be true too.
Right,
in certain
right. Yeah.
instances.
Of course. And there are instances in boxing where people have said, the mob ran it for decades. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause the mob's not what it is. It doesn't even exist as it once did anymore. So it's who is controlling these strings at this point? Is it heavies in Vegas? You know what I'm saying? Who are still involved in the underworld? But two awful, nefarious stoppages on two that both went under. I don't think you can go, oh, that's a coincidence. I don't think, they say something once is a coincidence, two is a something else. It's starting to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, or something like that.
Yes.
Or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Shame on me. So I said Boots in 10 that Zayas' corner would stop it. I think B said 8. Either way, he knocked him down in the first. He knocked him down again. Then in the 7th, he went down. Zayas got partially up to his knee, looked at his corner as they were getting up to stop it, and smiled at them, meaning like, I know.
Right.
And they stopped it. Star-making performance for Boots. Not for we already thought he was a star, but for the world to see. You've seen him live 3 times. You know how good of a fighter he is.
Yep.
He's now a unified champion at 154. He did it in New York in front of the biggest stage you could possibly do it in.
Who's
Philly
next
kid,
for him?
Likeable kid. Well, they've been trying to make that Virgil Ortiz fight since they were both at welterweight. Now they're both at 154. After the fight, Ortiz goes on Twitter, calls Zayas a bitch and a quitter, and says that he'll go through Boots in a couple rounds. Now, he's still having legal problems with Oscar that they're trying to iron out. The thing is, Billy, what do? Do you chase a great fight with Ortiz that'll be huge, but he has no belts?
Right.
Or do you try to grab 1 or 2 of the other belts, unify, then fight Ortiz for probably more money? Or do you get it done now while you're both in your prime? That's up. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that on Knock 'Em Out the Box. But this Billy fell asleep, guys, before the main event. Do you know what you would have done?
Well, I would have had some money in the account from the first bet, and I would have. So this is where we got confused because you saw it at 11.5.
Early in the week, it was 11.5.
So you just kind of said under, but you did tell me the 10th, and I saw it at 10.5. So
you would have won either way, I think, because I would have taken the under.
Right.
Either way, even though it moved.
Right.
It was 11.5, and then you were like, it's a 10.5 now.
See, I might have done like Boots. I don't know. I forget what that lineup. I might have done Boots straight up, depending on what the line was.
Early in the week, it was like 3-1. Boots was the favorite, and it had moved to close to. He was like 500. Zayas was like minus 500. Boots was like plus 360.
Right.
So, yeah, B was there, ran into a bunch of people. Shout out to our boy Adam from the Zone.
Yes, sir.
B ran into Freeway. B ran into Ghostface. Ran into Tayfimo. Ran into a bunch of people. So, yeah,
he met
guys.
Bam.
He did?
Yeah. He said he met Bam.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. So yeah, guys, great stuff. We'll leave the the analytics to the knock 'em out the box podcast. Billy, so Billy you didn't lose anything,
No, didn't make anything though. Really,
didn't make
either.
anything. So we're going into whatever next big fights are at square one, right? But not down.
Correct.
So yeah, we planned on talking about Season of the Assassin. I don't want to do it without B because I think there's a dynamic with the three of us, and you guys both being able to bring things up and ask questions because it's very difficult to talk about your own work without,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? I would just feel like I was putting myself.
Well, it's worth
know-
saying that it's the 16th anniversary. is
Correct.
that right?
Yeah, last week was the 16th anniversary. It was June 2010.
That's crazy. I mean,
Yeah, man, it
so
feels like a few years.
I'm trying to think compared to Jedi Mind Tricks run, your solo, it's almost you'll be a solo considered solo artist almost as long as you had Jedi Mind Tricks going, right?
Well, it's
How would you measure that?
I guess, let me see. So, Drag You to Hell was 2009, the first solo single. You know what I mean? When I was like, I guess I'm doing this.
Right.
It's something we'll get into with that. But even making decisions, I was rattled to do a solo record. You know what I'm saying? Because I never wanted to be the lone rapper. Going back to when we were kids, to the
Yeah, you
demos.
spoke about that. You know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I felt like very special guys were like that. Rakim, Nas, Jay,
Mhm.
G-Rap, very top tier guys. Other than that, I was a fan of groups. I liked that it was, originally 3 guys rhyming, eventually 4 guys rhyming, and Leaders of the New School. I loved that EPMD was both of them and both doing beats. I love Tribe. I love what Fife added, even though people thought of Tip as the main rapper.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to hear a different voice in the stuff I was doing. So I always had my boys coming through. You know what I'm saying? Like do some high school that I met battling or what, you know what I mean, on the street or whatever. I always wanted to have other voices, But yeah, that was 09. So it would be like 17 years of doing solo records, which in and of itself is someone's career.
Right.
You go,
Right.
most career. What do people have a 2 to 3 year run? A long one is considered 5 to 7, and once you hit
It's
10,
crazy, man.
you're on a. You know what I'm saying? Once you're 10, this is any music, hardcore, punk, R&B, funk, soul, jazz, whatever you listen to. So it's been 30 years since the first JMT. John, this fall will be the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
And this fall would right. When did we drop that Drag It Out in 09? I don't remember what part of the year, but this would be 17 of Vinnie Paz records. So that's a combined 47 years.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and we'll be doing some stuff around the 30th anniversary for sure.
Yeah, we
in
just
this
had
podcast.
we just had a Zoom regarding that. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff in the fall. Pop the trunk. Stuff influenced by the anniversary, where we'll talk about records and projects and what was happening then, and do a deep dive on all of that stuff. But Billy had mentioned that there was some mail, so it's as good a time as any to listen
up
to
on
you,
the mailbag.
Yeah, listen to Mental Patience, what you have to say. Your hopefully that. Oh, look at that shirt that this Billy has on. It's a nice shirt.
You can find this at jmtstore.com
Mm-hmm.
for all your merchandise needs, especially around the 30th anniversary of Jedi Mind Tricks.
And it's the holidays. And
it'll be the holidays. Make sure you're laced up and you're lacing your family and friends up. But let's get into the mailbag.
Are there any known contributors this week?
I can dig up a couple known guys.
No. I was just.
There are.
Just
There's a couple known guys that have been, itching to get their mail read.
Anybody you know in real life?
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna start with ENS. I love that he says, "Please don't mention my government name in when you read my email." So we'll just go with ENS.
Big fan, salute.
But he said, "But I graph, and it's a huge part of my life." And I remember Paz said somewhere he would write graffiti and was into the subculture. I want to ask Pazzy this: who's your favorite graffiti artist now, and who did you notice up in Philly when you were growing up? And thank you, Paz, for getting me through the worst part of my life. Peace, ENS.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. Yeah, look, man, everyone that I came up with, I just was lucky enough to be, how do you word this? To have lived during an amazing era in terms of Philly graph. You know what I'm saying? I'm way too young to have been around. Cornbread was writing in like '69 or something. You know, that was way too distance from when I was around. The '80s and '90s though was an incredible time for graffiti in Philly, New York, globally, of course, but they're the ones that I was exposed to in real time. You know what I mean? So, Sat One, Liquid, Agua, Espo, Kenny Mees, big shout Kenny Mees. Man, phew, I'm thinking, man. Praise Spain got so many guys, man. It was people were getting wrecked. Philly was a fucking an absolute menace of a city from all of the '80s and all of until basically the same thing happened in New York, sort of around the same time of the gentrification via Giuliani was trickled down here because you know what I mean. So, but it was the wildest. Now it's sort of turning back to that, wouldn't you say, Bill? With all the drills that are going on and the murders, it's sort of, but it's just moved. It's moved to where it's happening because what started happening is I always tell this funny story. So my ex was from Brooklyn, right? And she hadn't been in Philly mega long. I mean, she was here, but not mega long. You know what I'm saying? So she starts a new job bartending, and she goes, so come through. I was like, okay, that was the plan. So I go, oh, but it wasn't even smartphones. It was flip phones.
Right.
So she texts me the address, and it's right. The address is feet away, not blocks, feet away from this bar where someone who you and I know really well, their brother used to trap out of.
Okay.
And nobody in there spoke English, right? So we would drink. All they played was salsa, bachata. Nobody spoke English in there. Nobody. It was a Rican bar. Everyone in there was Puerto Rican, a Costa Rican, Dominican, Cubano, whatever. And it was the worst of worst areas. Okay. So she texts me that address, and I'm going, oh, she's like setting the wrong address because she doesn't know the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not down there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I tell her that via slow snail text because it's not,
when you had to hit the same button 3 times to get to the letter.
Exactly. So she's like a bit getting frustrated with me, but like, yo, I'm not dumb. I'm like, no, I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just telling you, you're actually giving me an address where I used to hang out.
Right.
10 years
I
ago.
don't really want to go back.
Right. And you and you shouldn't be there.
Right.
So I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew the type of place she had bartended at prior to that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that her or me were too good to be going there. It's I know how she was as a person. You know what I mean? She wasn't around the hood like that. You know what I'm saying? So she's insisting and insisting. So I'm like, I happen to know her manager. So I was like, put me on the phone with him. I'm like, yo, my guy, she's giving me the wrong address. She's telling me you're at this and this. I used to be there, bro. I know that's not you there. Can you just tell me where y'all are at? I don't need a cross. Just tell me something that it's near. You know what I mean? I'm trying to come over there. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, that's where we're at. He doubled down. So I say sorry to her, and I'm still going, but when I pull up, it's going to be wrong, and y'all both are going to owe me an apology.
Right.
I start getting close, Billy, and I see like a kid that looks like he's in Weezer, like walking a little voodoo dog, like, you know? And I go, that's it to myself. I'm though.
Right.
It struck me as strange. But,
Right.
bro, the deeper in I get, pause, it's like, it looks like a fucking Built to Spill show let out. It's all nice and gentrified. And this isn't, oh, yo, I haven't been there in years. This was like a
Quickly.
right. Like I just happened to have not been there because my man who I'm speaking of got booked and then got deported.
Right.
So he got roofed, right, for his crimes. Did like 10 and then got deported back to where he was from. So we just stopped going there as a bar. You know what I'm saying? And just moved it somewhere else. So it wasn't like, I just wasn't in that particular part of the hood. You know what I'm saying? Just that particular area. The other parts weren't gentrified and still aren't to this day. But that whole area that I'm talking about, so I can say what area it is now. Like Billy, like the low number streets over near Girard.
Okay.
You know, kind of near Kung Fu Necktie, kind of near, that's all gentrified now.
Yeah.
I don't think younger people know how that used to be. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's pretty much Kensington, isn't it?
Yeah, and there are now parts that you and I would refer to as Kensington.
Right.
That are like bougie coffee shops and shit.
Right.
Now you walk 2 blocks. So the one thing about Philly that I will say, see, my experience, all right, mine, you know, don't bother writing in saying I'm wrong about this. I lived it and it's my experience. So you can't tell me I'm wrong. Was if I'm going to East New York, the neighborhood is hell. Right? If I tell you to go to West Philly, that can mean 30 things.
Right.
We have mutual friends who lived in University City, which is a neighborhood within West Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Their crib was nice. It was mostly college kids in that area. Some professors from Penn live around there on Osage.
Yep.
It's nice as shit. You walk, not drive, walk a couple blocks the wrong way. You could get packed up. I have this joke when I'm on Baltimore Ave and I go up Baltimore through the city to go into Center City, right? Especially if I'm with my mom because it cracks her up. If I see a nerd walking west towards like the Deuce, I just real quick go, he's dead.
Yeah.
Just because they think that it's sweet. Like, oh, I'm going to go to this bodega and I'm a nerd hipster kid that lives in West, but I'm going to go over to the Deuce. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's sweet.
I have a good story. Not now. It'll be good to tell at some point, though. Leaving the Liberty Bar at like 4 a.m. with people you know,
of course
getting into a car chase with people, and I had to turn off and ended up in those neighborhoods and was like, "What is happening?" But I was being like chased by someone.
Do we know that said someone?
No, it was like a random guy that was trying to like run us off the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, write that down.
Right.
I want to hear that.
That's good. It's a good one.
I don't know how I got into that from the Graf story. That's a good thing with the mail. Do you? How did I go from a bad area in Philly?
I guess you were talking about the gentrification. Yeah.
So yeah, so what had happened was I watched all the 80s and 90s heads, you know, like the aforementioned Espo and Kenny Mees and Sat One, you know, and all those guys. Tramp. Shout out everybody from that era. Graf right on that. Jack Boogie, Jay Ski, Skip One, Mighty Flipside, Planet, Crip, TZR. Shout out everybody from, you know, that got wrecked in that era. If you give me, now that you brought it up, if you give me more time, I can think about it, and I'll big up a bunch of Philly Graf heads that were, of course, stuff is going to slip my mind. You know what I mean? But that's all I could think of off the top of my head. But I'm of course going to forget. But Pedal, Salute Pedal a lot, but a lot of people, yeah, man. I knew I ran with everyone. I just, it's like, it was the same thing as rapping. Everyone rhymed, everyone wrote graph to the degree that they were good. I just, wrote them on school books, wrote them on, got up a little bit, but I wasn't nice like that. You know what I'm saying? But I just ran around with everybody. So I was hanging out with legends, but I wasn't one as far as graph. I was on, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be on some rhyming shit.
Now, here's my question
Please.
for you. Because
Please.
like there's stuff I look at and I can't decipher like what it says. Is that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a learned art for him? Is it just being
Like-
around it?
Would you say the Philly Wickeds or graph in general?
In general, I'd say it's tough on my end.
I'd say it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Right.
If you're ahead, you probably know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Bill, did you ever see the crazy logos or writing of like black metal and death metal bands?
I don't think so.
It's gotten to the point where you go, I don't know what that is. And
Right.
they're trying to do that to you.
Right.
Like it's become a joke in that world. Like the less you could read it,
The
like,
better.
that's but I don't, bro, I still get, so I had a what's it called? A subscription to Terrorizer magazine and Decibel. Terrorizer doesn't print anymore, but Decibel still does. And I don't know what the ads are for because of the logos.
Right.
New blank album, and it's the logo. And I don't know what that is. And I hope that there's an app with the Instagram
Right,
or a
so you can
website,
figure
and then
it
I
out.
go to that. But if it's just a logo, there's probably 8 to 10 ads per issue that I have no idea who the band is.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, so you're
for
cutting your
marketing.
nose to spite your face to be like, we're soul metal, or we're soul
Right.
punk rock, or we're soul. But we do it and did it with graffiti too. A lot of those wickeds, you go, I don't know who this is. I don't know what
Right.
this says. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Plan's hand is crazy. I think you can tell Plan, that he writes Planet, but I know people that you can't, but they're
Right.
they're dope,
Right.
But there's people whose pieces are very clean too. You know what I mean? So I think it just depends on the person. But yeah, I understand being like, yeah, I don't know what he writes.
Takes me some time. I got to look at it for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. We got an email from Jason here. I'm going to read, there's a couple questions in here. I'm not going to read them all, but greetings, fellas. Love the podcast. Just a quick note about the theme of underrated rappers from the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Some of these are a little bit older, but, we haven't hit the mailbag.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like Chill Rob G doesn't really get brought up enough. He seemed to have slipped through the cracks for whatever reason. Maybe it was a huge gap in releasing anything after the first album, but man, what a voice.
Yeah, he
Comment
was
there.
great. He was great. This is from Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, Jason. Chill Rob G was great. I think the thing there more so is, like you said, the long gap in between projects. And I think a lot of the people, that era was so competitive that he came out in. And so many of the greats came out in that era that it's easy to be eaten up by the era, which is what happened to a lot of people. Some of the ones that I brought up, you know what I mean? I think they got eaten up by being in a great era. It's like, yo, you were really good in an era of greats, or you were great in an
Right.
era of what's above the all-time great, So I think that's what happened. Those record being signed to Wild Pitch was not the greatest situation. So a lot of those names where we put an addendum to it, we said, was it politics? Was it label politics? Was it, all those things could be attributed to it,
That's a list. Underrated. That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, I tried my best to say with our list of like, okay, who was underappreciated, but I kind of mixed it in with underrated, but
Right.
not really. So it would be a list unto its own. And then that becomes difficult because you go, well, who are they underrated by? By us? No, we think they're great. Like I always
Right.
bring up AZ, Billy. I'm like, yo, I think AZ's pen is up to par with Nas's pen. So I wouldn't underrate him. He's the top 10 guy all time to me.
Right.
But if you don't have the spoils of being great, meaning gold and gold and gold and gold and platinum and platinum and platinum, then I guess you are viewed as underrated. But I don't think anyone that knows would say, no, he's not incredible. So I don't even know what the dictionary definition for us would be to make that list. All right, so how do we define underrated? You
Right.
know, us on Pop the Trunk.
Correct.
We'd have to draw parameters the way we're going to do with the top 50. Okay, here's the things it involves: lyrical ability, voice, live show, you know, all of these factors. You know, what are the factors for being underrated? Okay, they didn't see as much commercial success. That's probably the beginning of it. Like, it should start there. You
Mhm.
know, we think they're amazing, but they don't have plaques and plaques and plaques. And, you know, a person on the street that says they like rap or hip hop, rap and hip hop might go, who? And you go, that's crazy to me.
Right.
You know?
Well, keeping with that theme, I'm going to jump to Travis.
What up, Travis?
He says, hello, fellas. Great show as always. And Irish Billy, you're the best. Keep up the great work.
It's
And
true.
Thank you, Travis. Oh, yeah. The end of the last email, he came at me about not being able to get the email address right. So no
Travis
sold
did?
that. No, the last guy. No sold that. I like Travis. I don't like the last guy anymore.
You don't like him anymore?
No, he had a PS about not being able to get the email through. So he was just kidding. I'm sorry.
I think he was a very nice gentleman. I think
I
his
know.
name was
I'm
Jason.
kidding.
I know you are.
Travis. So he says, keep up the great work. I was planning on emailing and telling you about my UFO breakdancing experience in the mid to early 80s, but I'll have to wait. I think we shouldn't wait for that.
I don't
think
want to
we
wait at
know- we
all
wanna
for that.
know about that. We'll have to wait because I really want to talk about this.
Now, Billy,
We
do
can-
you think he was breakdancing and the radio and the songs and his movements said to the aliens,
Summon them.
summoned them? Is that what you believe this story will go?
I mean,
Because remember the boom boxes, if he's older, the boom boxes had mad colors, like the red, the green, the yellow, and EQ and
So
all
he
of
was
that.
just breakdancing outside
Right. That's what
and he accidentally summoned the UFOs.
I'd say 87% of my b-boying came outside.
Okay. By himself? I wonder if there's anyone else who can corroborate the UFOs.
I'll bet you that his story gets shaky there. I'll bet
There's
you it's
always
all-
a bad camera
There's always a
angle.
bad
There's
camera
not a
angle. There's always,
witness.
oh, my friends just went in for dinner,
Mhm.
but I stayed out to get one
He
more.
was probably
song in.
practicing his breakdancing outside by
Yes,
himself.
I believe he was playing Jam on It. That is my.
That's how you
This is
summon
Travis?
UFOs? Yes.
I believe that Travis his dancing blended with Jam on It, and a boombox that had red, yellow, and green lights on it. Summoned an early.
We could recreate this and try to summon our own aliens.
So you would so next time you visit the studio, which you're due for as we're
Mhm.
finishing up,
Mm-hmm.
I will break dance while
Mhm.
playing Jam on It. Do you know Scott put in new lights and they go, it's like a rave?
I love it.
No, I'm being dead serious.
I
Do you
didn't know that.
It changes like you're in a club. I'm like, what the fuck? Are we in Club Stallone?
Right. He can set the mood now depending on who he's
It's
got in there.
always set. It's always set.
Right.
There's a mood going on. I don't even know if he did it on purpose because I'm going, this is so crazy. I forgot to say, did you buy these on purpose or did you just go on Amazon and this is
Right.
what they sent you and you're like, oh,
Right.
this is lit.
Right.
But it's like in there. So we're going to try to summon an alien for episode 25.
I like it.
Okay.
Travis, send us your story. We
Please
wanna
send
hear
us
it.
your story for next episode. Thank you.
But he would like to talk about the future top 50 show. And to go with it, he says, he loves any top whatever list, not because he likes to debate or disagree with people's choices, but rather because he enjoys hearing their thoughts and justifications for their picks. I'm really looking forward to hearing who makes your list and why. I think a big part of top lists is the criteria. For
I
example.
agree with you. I actually agree with you 100%. It's huge.
He says if one of the criteria is an artist's impact on bringing rap into the mainstream, Vanilla Ice could theoretically be in a top 50 list.
Well, listen, I've talked about this many times and how I deal with, personally, the successes of Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, okay? It's my belief that a lot, particularly white, maybe Latino, but white and maybe Latino, not black kids, got into Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, and may have gone to that section, and then the next time picked up EPMD, or
Right.
the next time picked up BDP.
Right.
I know for a fact that white kids did that. You know, I don't mean all. If all of them did, they would have sold as much as Hammer and Vanilla Ice. But I know that people used it as a gateway drug.
If
And-
I'm being honest, I don't recall exactly my first experiences with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that.
I
know, I
think that's
can't-
bro. Let's not just put this on rap. It's like, so my friend Damien from Fucked Up, big shout out Damien. He does a podcast called Turned Out a Punk, and he has people on that are into punk rock, and they tell their story how they got
Mhm.
hip.
Mhm.
Sami Zayn from WWE went on and talked about Green Day Dookie.
Right.
Bro, we were like, pack this up then.
Mm-hmm.
But he's more closer to your age or younger than you, Sammy.
Right.
So how can I cut a promo on him and say, "Oh, that was corny"? First off, he's definitely from Canada. He's from Montreal, right? Because
He's Canadian.
Yeah, he's ethnically Arab and he's Muslim.
Right.
So
Right.
he speaks perfect English, perfect Arabic, and perfect French. He's Syrian ethnically, but his parents are Syrian immigrants, moved to Canada. So you got a trilingual kid. Maybe he has no siblings. And if he hears that, and then the next week goes and buys a Dead Kennedys record, as an adult, I can say, yo, that's dope. As a young kid who thought he knew everything and thought he was the smartest in the room, and I'm talking about myself, I used to shit on that stuff. Because I would see the girl in my class in Catholic school that loved Vanilla Ice but hated rap. And I was like,
Right.
yo, that's corny.
Right.
But I also saw a white boy who wasn't into rap. He didn't hate it. He just wasn't his thing. Who bought Hammer and then got into Uncle L. And then through Uncle L,
Right.
got into EPMD. So how could I, but then I was a hater. I used to be
Sure.
big into that, man. Smartest in the room. I think I know everything. I'm more down than you. Unfortunately, grown people still do that. Unfortunately, grown people still do that regarding this show. Unfortunately, grown people do that in our comments. No, that's wrong. No, I was there. No, bro, back you up.
Right.
Get out of here. You're a grown man. You're not the coolest in the room, man. You're not. It's weird. So stop. But that's what I mean. So while I don't agree, is this Travis?
Yes.
Who talks to Earlians?
Yes.
I don't agree that you go, all right, so do Hammer and well Hammer was a serious artist before all of that and had love in the hip hop community or some. And people are like, yo, he's an ill dancer. And he makes catchy music. Before what was the smash? The biggest song ever.
The
Rick James
Vanilla
loop.
Ice or MC
No,
Hammer?
the MC Hammer, the Rick James loop.
Can't touch this?
Yeah, before Can't Touch This. Before Ice, Hammer was the man out in the Bay. You know what I mean? Vanilla Ice had Ice Ice Baby out on like Ichiban Records, and it was sort of a small hit.
Right.
And then he signed to the Geffen deal to that major, and then it became a monster hit again. You know what I mean? So like them, hate them, whatever, both of those dudes were making records on some, we're rappers. You know what I'm saying? Neither one was created like later
Right.
boy bands and stuff were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like neither
Right.
were. I'm not. That's not a defense. I'm just saying they were both. You know what I'm saying?
were doing it.
Hammer was selling lots of records out the trunk, more so him than Vanilla. You know what I mean? But Vanilla Ice was on an indie that a lot of people went through Ichiban. Ichiban was a monster independent label distributor. Like huge records went through there. There were massive independent, guys that were selling a couple 100,000 records and making millions of dollars rapping, and a lot of people didn't know who they were. MC Breed was going through Ichiban. Remember him? He had the song with Pac, Gotta Get Mine, Billy.
Mhm.
Maybe a little bit too young for you,
Mm-hmm.
but I know you like Pac. Remember Gotta Get Mine? You gotta get yours.
Yep.
Yeah, that was on Ichiban. So Vanilla Ice had like a deal through them, and that shit blew up regionally. Like Texas, Miami, and then he got picked up by a major. Would those guys crack our top 50 for that reason? No, because it would be that alone.
Right. That's where he goes on to say, The criteria for the list is very important. This is why when anyone asks me who my top 5 or 10 rappers of all time are, I let them know that this is my list of favorites, not who I think are the actual greatest of all times. Musicians like food or soda or anything else is very subjective when ranking the top.
When we do the top 50, I guarantee you that at least the top 20 to 25 will not be me, you, and Brendan's top personal 25 that we would play in the car. I can guarantee it already. You know what I'm saying?
See, our list is going more against our personal then in that fashion because we're
Because
collaborating.
the only way it stays if it meets all the criteria.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If maybe your top 5 meets all the criteria, and your personal Billy's top 5 ends up being somehow in the top 10 of the Pop the Trunk top 50 greatest rappers of all time. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of mine. They'll probably all be top 10, 15, my top 5.
Right.
You know, and you guys are really going to have to budge me on number 1. That's going to be real problematic when it comes to who I think is the greatest ever, and I'm not budging. So I don't know how the criteria will have to budget. Meaning, when you guys argue against it, you're going to have to do so with the criteria.
Right. Right. Travis ends this with another interesting comment. Finally, I'm hoping you guys will grant me this one request. Can I be the official Pop the Trunk redneck neck? Thanks.
I
So
didn't
now
know,
that adds to the UFO story. So he was breakdancing as maybe he was like hiding from his family in like the backyard.
because they were using racial slurs to
And
describe
he was
breakdancing.
breakdancing. Yes. They didn't like his breakdancing. So like then the UFOs, he summoned the UFOs.
The fact that he breakdances, well, used to he used to be a b-boy, right? Likes rap, probably likes good rap. I'm just guessing. You know what I mean? He can absolutely be the resident redneck because that already makes him ill. You're an
need to hear
ill
more.
dude to be a hillbilly. Yeah. Please go into why you're a hillbilly and redneck, and please tell us about the Earlians and whether or not there were lights involved, and Jam on It by Nucleus was playing. And Billy and I both want to know, will he blame being a redneck on why there were no witnesses, Billy, and say he grew up on some farm and his closest neighbor was 7 miles away?
Where it always happens.
And Auntie Agnes was deaf, so she didn't hear the Earlians. Or the cows or the chickens were clucking over the sound of the UFO. Thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Let's see. This could be one that you could use a little more.
Can't touch it.
Can you do that dance? Did you used to do the dance?
My man Lumpy did it at, what's the thing when you turn, so like 2nd or 3rd grade is your communion? If you're Catholic? What's the one after that? The last
confirmation.
One? At my niece's confirmation, me and Lenny have a friend named Lumpy. He made the DJ put on Can't Touch This and did the hammer drawn, and Alexis lost her little mind and started crying and running around, flailing her arms because he was embarrassing her in front of her whole crew.
I love that.
It was top 5 family moment for me.
I still get someone it happened at my daughter's baptism, and I like was over in the corner doing like keg stands at the time.
Yeah, but first off, you're fun time Billy. Second off, the kids aren't old enough to be embarrassed yet. A 6th grade girl, what are you, like 11?
Well, they
at that age, or it's 11 or 12.
They
That's
will,
like
because my song that gets played, like someone will request a DJ to play the Humpty Dance.
Yeah, you go nuts.
Yeah, that's
you can't contain yourself.
No, exactly. If I hear it, it's like I can't.
That's how you know that girl.
Myself.
That girl Kesha. Are you hip to her? Yeah. That's Sam the Sleazebag can't contain his brain, so he went to see her, and Sleazebag's girl filmed him, and he's like having a mental breakdown, going apeshit to Kesha. He can't contain it. He's going wild.
Well, Sleazy is an interesting character to say the least.
That's
Shout out.
That's the what's it called of the year, the understatement
Right.
of the
Right.
year. I mean, we could just do a month of shows on Sam the Sleazebag with questions.
All right, we got Michael checking in. Love the show, fellas. It's become essential to my midweek survival.
Thank you,
that.
Michael. We appreciate you. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a mundo.
I think one of the hardest lines in Philly rap history is when Vinnie said, I'm like Mark David Chapman with a Salinger book, stalk my enemy and let the fucking silencer cook.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What do you think is the hardest line? He says in Philly rap history.
In Philly rap history?
But it could kind of get expanded.
Every Beans line on The Truth. Oh my God. That record makes me want to rob a bodega. There's a Beans verse on, remember you can kiss your ass goodbye. Da, 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 the remix. The Kiss Your Ass Goodbye remix, Beans verse on there also makes me want to rob a bodega. Again, we're talking about what's it called, right? Philly guys. So
yeah, the actual question was hardest line in Philly rap history.
Yeah, so Beans. I'm trying to look at the track listing from The Truth. Every single line on What's Your Life Like makes me want to set it. Mons is real. Everything signed and sealed. Oh my God. I'm getting hyped just thinking about it. Play What's Your Life Like, my guy. And everything he says on there will make you want to put your fist through something.
Good answer. He also adds, where do you rate Angry Black versus Crazy Cabbie in terms of great boxing matches of the 2000s?
Brilliant question. I won't dignify their boxing abilities with, or lack thereof, with a response, but I will absolutely say, brilliant question, well done, and a baba booey to y'all.
Good stuff. All right, let's see.
Who was that that wrote in?
That was Michael.
Michael, I'm wrapped up with RIP, old Eric the actor stuff right now, and have been for like 10 days when I go to sleep. Just Eric the act. Yeah. I refuse to call him by that other name. Midgie. Eric the Midget. As Eric would tell you, it's Eric the actor.
For those of you who may not know, we are in the world of Howard Stern right now.
Yeah. Now we're out, but we were in for a sec. Pause.
This is Anthony. Gentlemen, yes, this includes you, Billy. Wait a minute. So are we assuming that I shouldn't be included as a gentleman, or just he's being nice and saying like, hey.
No. He's saying I and B are gentlemen, and even you, Billy.
So it's like, yes, even you.
Even you. Okay. It's a passive-aggressive shot.
Okay. But he does say, dig in the pod and love the Buck 50 episode. Excellent analysis and examples of the snubs you threw out. They were spot on. I agree that some of the picks were absolute buffoonery. What are your thoughts on MC Search? Thanks in advance and peace. This is Anthony.
I mean, I wouldn't be here without third base, So for me, that's, Sir, people have opinions of Search, a lot of opinions, positive, negative, whatever. He seems to be polarizing. You know what I'm saying? Search was always mad cool to me. I haven't seen him in a real long time. I saw him at Gennady Golovkin, Curtis. Yeah, Golovkin fight at the small room at the Garden.
He's a boxing fan.
I actually don't think he is. He was just
But
there.
that was a big enough event.
Yeah, or he was doing radio at the time. Maybe they said, I'm not sure. He was there he was like, this is my artist, and introduced me to this white kid. But I don't think anything ever, made its way. But the early days of nonfiction, he was there. Third Base is responsible for Doom, and KMD getting put on. The 2 Third Base albums, Cactus and Derelicts of Dialect, are brilliant and important, and they're brilliant and important to me. I mean, you're asking about Search. To me, it's Search and Pete and Daddy Rich. They were just as important. And shout out KO and Dante Ross and all the thorough OG white boys who were around back then, because there wasn't a lot. Third Base is very important to me personally and creatively, because those dudes were really doing stuff, creatively speaking, that nobody else was doing except Prince Paul and De La, in terms of being out there and left field and weird with it, but still having, but still having their ear to the street. Those guys were at the fucking Latin Quarter and shit, bro. They were real dudes. They were around. You know what I'm saying? When it was zero white boys, where you could get got. Shit was violent at Latin Quarter. Violent. They would play Stetsasonic records, Billy, and people would start shooting into the sky. That's how Ghost Stetzer would make people go fucking mad in there, and they'd start shooting. And these dudes was around. Don't let nobody say otherwise about, Search, Pete Nice, Lord Scotch, KO, Dante Ross. Those dudes was outside then. 83, 84, 85, some earlier than that. Very important, Third Base. Very important.
Nice. We're moving on to Kyle. Hey, Vinnie, Brendan, and Billy. My name is Kyle from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, and I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'm also a big fan of Vinnie's music, and one thing I enjoy about the podcast is hearing about the music that inspired him. You too, Brendan and Billy.
Thanks, Kyle.
I'm 34 years old, so it's cool to hear your perspective on what you consider impactful, because my influences are so much different. I feel like you guys are my cheat code to understanding why my favorite artists ended up being so great. When you give a mention of a record, I'm always eager to listen to it. It was fun listening to your guys' critique of the top New York rappers list a few episodes ago, and I quickly researched all the artists you mentioned, which leads to my suggestion. I thought this was a interesting and good suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Could you guys make a Spotify playlist containing all the records you guys talk about on the podcast, or maybe compile a top 25 to 50 song playlist of Vinnie's favorite records, regardless of genre? Have you ever messed around with making public playlists?
So I held out because I still buy physical product, as you know.
Right.
Vinyl, cassette, CDs, everything.
Yep.
I support physical product. So I said I held out with any streaming service forever. And I now have Spotify, but don't use it like the average bear. I basically have it for business purposes, meaning if that's my quickest route to check somebody new out, and that's how it, you know what I'm saying, makes it easier for me, then that's what I do. But I still use iPods, in the car and on tour, and at the crib, I still use vinyl and, cassette CDs or whatever. But to answer your question, Billy, Jan would have me do playlists and be like, yo, Paz, you want to put together a playlist of like stuff you're listening to, just for heads to see what I was listening to, we can get back to doing that. Here's the one problem, Kyle. And I'm not saying it's a big problem. We can easily do it by just doing YouTube. Spotify doesn't have a lot of stuff that I listen to. Like if you listen to earlier episodes, Kyle, you'll hear me talk about Sunslaughter, Mel Kwan. I don't even know if those songs are on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? So we could put the playlist together, do a Pop the Trunk Spotify playlist, and do it on YouTube too, that'll have additional songs, because all of the songs that you hear at the end of our show, they're all top secret joints, so we don't get flagged. Correct, Billy?
Correct.
So we could add them if it's a YouTube joint, not if it's you know what I'm saying? But that's a cool idea. It's actually a really cool idea, Kyle. Look, you saying we are your cheat code means more to me personally than
Yeah,
you
I
can
thought that was-
possibly imagine, because really it's a huge part of doing this show for me, my motivation for me. I can't speak for Billy and B, but it's to talk about things and people that I feel were underappreciated and don't get their just due. And I try to do it on my Instagram too when I talk about records that came out or records that were important to me on the anniversaries. So you saying that, uh, that's a high compliment, and I appreciate you taking the time to tell us that. And I'll keep that in mind, um, to throw something out there for you to check out. To try to do it at least once an episode, to throw somebody's name out there, that was incredible. That, what's the name brought it up a couple letters ago about Chill Rob G. You know what I mean? And a guy who
Right.
kind of,
We
people
could
should
start a
know.
list. I could keep, the notes
Yeah.
on what we're mentioning and
Yeah.
something like that. Be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we should definitely put together a list.
All right, we're gonna go to Cedric, who has been sending emails, and I haven't gotten a chance to read any. And I want
Cedric, what up? OG
nothing
fan, OG fan, knock him out the
Anaki.
box fan. I think Cedric goes back to Broad Street Breakdown. Big shout out to Pablo. Big shout out to the OG Gavin. Big shout out to Chrissy. Feel better soon, mama. We love you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So sorry about that, Cedric. What up?
Good evening, gentlemen. Hope you and your families are doing well. When I heard Billy can take a punch like Homer Simpson, I actually envisioned when the homie Julius in Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, have you seen Jason Takes Manhattan?
Are you asking me that, or
I'm
is
asking
Cedric?
you now. I'm asking you.
I'm fucking offended and it's in shock that you think you have to ask me that. First
Okay.
offended, then what are you fucking talking about? He fucking lops everyone on that fucking boat that takes him to Manhattan, and then starts lopping people in Times Square, and you're asking me.
So let me continue.
What kind of friend are you?
I actually envision when the homie Julius in Jason Takes Manhattan boxes Jason on the rooftop. Jason takes all the punches from Julius until he tires himself out.
Correct. He homers him before Homer.
And Cedric says that's probably his favorite death scene in that entire franchise, hands down.
I ain't mad at that.
Last episode when Billy played the clip of the top 50 rap artists, and that one guy asked who MF Doom was, that really pissed me off. How are you going to be in the rap industry and not know MF Doom? That was made disrespectful and very telling that he clearly doesn't know music. Even my own children know MF Doom and his brilliant works. I think we kind of, we didn't give too much play to that. We kind of skimmed over it.
My response to it, not about hearing it again, is like, I don't know how that happens, but I also don't know what you're supposed to do. It's like, there are some people, Billy, in our extended crew. Okay, I'm not gonna say close, tight knit. You know what I mean? Of our crew who goes to each other's house and knows each other's parents and kids, but extended crew that have been like, who is that? About, say, someone like, so maybe not Doom specifically, but someone like that. Oh, who's that? And I go, how does that happen? You rap.
Right.
And I don't know which one of them said that. Was it Mano that said who was MF Doom?
I don't
or was
remember.
It Jim? Was it Jim?
I don't
one
think
of
it
them
was Jim.
Okay, then it was Mano. And then Mano definitely said, Cool Keith, the DJ or something like that.
Oh,
right?
he raps?
He rap? Yes, right? It was a wild take for 4 rappers.
Right.
There's not really anything you can throw at me, even if it's not my twist. I can talk to you about old 3-6 Mafia records when they were 666 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? I can talk to you about Old South. I can talk to you about drill. It's like, how do you do this thing? And go, so you play guitar and go, who is Robert Johnson?
Right.
It's hip hop is the worst when it comes to
You've always spoken about that, how do you not, and I think other people too have spoken about it, but how do you not study the history of your craft, and how does that get lost so quickly?
It's a strange thing.
Right. Cedric goes on to mention, lastly, my 5-year-old had an MRI on his brain recently, and we've been a complete mess with restless and sleepless nights. The podcast has really gotten me through these times. His results came back in our favors, so weight has been lifted off my family's shoulders. Keep up the God tier work as usual, General, and peace and love from your friend Cedric. So just wanted to give a shout out. That's awesome news, Cedric.
Glad little man is well. I hope you and both kids are well. That's great news. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so now you know what you got to do now, bro. You got to take them out, get them whatever ice cream you want, like to the worst meal from appetizer to dessert, and let them get wrecked.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all the ice cream, the burgers, the fries, everything, that you say no to. Because Cedric's a cook. You know what I mean? At home. I don't mean that's what he does as a job, but he's always barbecue. He's like a grill master type. He cooks for the boys and all that. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Instead of a dad cook meal, they probably bust your balls for something. You know what I mean? Kids always want whatever you're not doing. You make them a steak, you make them a lobster. They go, oh, could we get McDonald's? That's how kids' brains work. You gotta let them get wrecked, Cedric. I'm glad all is well, man. Thanks for writing in.
Thank you, Cedric. It seems like the theme. A lot of people like the list, the top 50. So we got an email. The subject is just Source 99, and I'm going to share this image with you.
Okay.
This is from Peterson Nathan.
So you think it's Nathan?
But there's
Peterson?
no words to it. But it is something is interesting to see. Can you see that?
I can.
Can you see
blind.
the list at the top?
Yeah. So this is the Source in 99. So they have a greatest MCs of all time, which is 1 to 20, and then a greatest post old school live performances. Guys, if you don't know what that means, they mean post Cold Crush, post Funky 4 plus 1 more, because those guys were such great entertainers that they would beat everybody. So it's post the old school era.
So I believe it's sent for since they did a greatest MCs list in it, and I'll just read these off real quick just to see what it was, the source was saying in 1999 at least.
Yeah, 27 years ago, guys.
Right. So at 20, they have Tupac, and then going backwards, 19, Kool Keith, 18, Scarface, Snoop Dogg, Nas, Lauryn Hill, Redman, 13, Jay-Z, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Kool Mo D, Grandmaster Caz, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Biggie, Ice Cube at 6, Slick Rick at 5, Chuck D at 4, LL Cool J, Rakim, and KRS-One in the number 1 spot.
Okay, so go ahead, Billy.
I thought it was an interesting list, and there's a lot of names on there that I think would not be on that list today if even the source were to do something like that again.
Okay, I thought you meant on ours.
No. I'm just saying it's actually like...
So my knee jerk is there's literally, I mean this sincerely, this isn't hyperbole, nothing about that offends me at all.
Right.
Would it be our top 20 in 2026? No, but there's a lot of names in there. I think of those 20, I think 19 of them will be on our top 50.
Right.
I think all 3 of the old heads that I said on that episode are on this list. I think I said it's got to be Caz, it's got to be Melly Mel, and it's got to be Mo D of those guys if you're talking that generation. Aren't they the 3 names I said?
Yeah. Yep, they're all
I think they are. So I'm looking again. Every name on this list will be on our top 50 except one name. So
I agree with that.
Where will they be ranked? We haven't started putting it together yet. But that's a very interesting list. I remember that issue. I have it somewhere. Who is this again?
They didn't give a specific name, but the email says Peterson.
I actually think I know who this is, but I don't know if he wants me to say that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so thank you. This is obviously apropos, you know what I mean? And way more sane than any list we've been seeing the last 5, 10, 15 years.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's certainly not in order that ours would be or mine would be, but I'm not
Right.
going batshit. So if this comes out, this is the specific reason people do clickbait.
Right.
Because if you put that out on some level, someone of sound mind did that, and you don't get every retard on earth talking about it because, so instead you put Cardi B at number 3 of the great,
Right.
and then
That didn't have that in there. That didn't
No,
have the
there's
just
literally
putting
not
it in
one.
there.
There's literally not one out of those 20 picks that you get triggered by.
Who would have been a clickbait name in '99 to be in a top 20 list?
Like Master P,
Right.
and they could have validated it by being like, he sold all these records independently and he runs the game, and you know what I'm saying, whatever angle. Or or a guy like that.
Right.
That's the first name that came to my mind. I mean, if I
Right.
really sit around and think about it, I could come up with 20. But that's what jumped out at me when you said what would have been in '99 a name that the source would have gotten mailed in letters about. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna zip up the mailbag for now. I think that was that got us through some of the older questions from some past episodes. So I wanted to run through some of that. And you can continue to mail us at mailbag at popthetrunkpod.com. That is very simple email address. Mailbag at popthetrunkpod.com.
It is not a simple email address.
Not to be confused with our Instagram, which is popthetrunk.pod.
Thank you.
All right, Vin.
Mhm.
I heard you want to bring back an oldie but a goodie.
I take issue with I want to bring back. I really
Are you getting forcibly? Is it
no, but it's like a band goes on tour and they got to play the hits, and they go, if I play this motherfucking you can't touch this one more fucking time. If I got to do this fucking Ice Ice Baby one more time at this fucking MAGA event, there's been a calling for a return of the event. Now, who am I
Jesus. Oh boy.
to prevent the fans from enjoy? Now, how long will it last for me? Because this takes a bit. It's my favorite show of all time is The Leftovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch The Leftovers?
I did.
Remember when Holy Wayne would heal someone, how drained he was?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the event.
Okay.
It's like a hug from Holy Wayne.
I like that. It's probably good. I feel like B would be like anti Dear Vin. So we have to go anytime B can't make it, we can do a Dear Vin.
So you feel that upon B's return next week, if we were to do Dear Vin's, who'll hate it or who'll cut promos and go nuts and say this guy is a menace?
Yeah, I think it'll upset him, greatly upset him to hear these things.
For me or the person?
Both.
See,
I think he'll have heat with the person and feel bad that you have to deal with it.
Gavin started feeling that way as well. Pablo is all in. As Pablo will be. No Puff. But
Me and Pablo have a lot in common.
You do. You do. You enjoy it's Schadenfreude, if you will. You're sort of down with their pain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So guys, if you weren't a listener of my podcast with my childhood friends called The Broad Street Breakdown, we had a little segment called Dear Vin. Maybe Billy can explain it a bit for those who don't, because it's me explaining it. Billy, do you want to do it that way, or do you want me to explain it, or we both will?
Well,
so how about that?
Since being more involved, with you, I actually see this happen.
You sent some to me, in fact,
as well, that some people come out of the woodwork, send some let's just say crazy emails or over the top or feel a little too comfortable to be kind of sending it to someone they don't know, is how I'll put it. And I think Vinny gets hit probably the worst within like DMs on social media is where I would think. So like, that the only one really dealing with that is Vinny, seeing that stuff come directly to him.
So to add on to that, because that's it's a great explanation, but to add on to it, so they're not tens and tens or dozens and dozens or hundreds and hundreds. There are thousands of messages in our business Facebook messages. I don't see them. I won't see them. I don't check them. You could write that you're going to want to kill me, that you hate me, all of that. There's a business email that's out there. You can write whatever you want there. If you're a mental patient and Billy finds it funny, maybe I'll see it, but I ain't getting that. I have a personal email that people don't have. I run my IG, and the messages I get are mostly from people that I personally interact with.
Sure.
So anyone that's feeling trigger happy that they can write me and I'm going to see it, the odds are I'm not. But I would get wind of some weird shit every now and then, which led me into digging there for the Dear Vin segment. Are you following me?
Yep. Yeah.
So
something you normally would just kind of, probably not even open.
Correct. Meaning I'm basically protected from this insanity. Yeah, I'll see comments, here and there. Or people will send me something to try to stir shit up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but to be fair, and this is free advice, don't go digging around in dark places. Chances are you'll find some dark stuff. Okay, guys, that's just personal advice, not professional. You know what I'm saying? Because it's dark out there. And Dear Vin will be a lesson in that. That
oh boy,
things are dark. I tend to always keep this to a couple because they're that dark and can turn the mood of an otherwise upbeat episode. I'm not sure that these are all I'm looking at 3. They're all off the rails. I don't feel like any of these will bring the mood down outside of there is always the level of, is this person in a padded cell? If they're writing from a padded cell, no problem. If they're not, you should be worried if this people live near you, or me, or Billy, or his children, or my son, or B's family, or anyone that's not as crazy as them. That's sort of what I've taken from this. If this person is writing from a facility, no problem. If they're not, I have a serious problem with how mental health is treated globally, because these come from the world, not Philly, not the East Coast, not the continental U.S. Their events have come from every continent at every time of the day, from male and female. You know what I'm saying? Like every race, creed, color, religion. You know what I'm saying? Are you following what I'm getting at here?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And again, I'm prefacing it one little asterisk. If it's from a padded cell and they are giving access to an iPad or something, no problem. If any of these people from tonight's episode or future installments of Dear Vin are walking the streets, shame on whoever is responsible for that. Be it family members, a loved one, who, you know what I'm saying? Or more heavier than that, a fucking person who gives them a fucking mental health exam.
Right.
And goes, go walk around.
And the point of this is to give you guys a glimpse at,
into my fucking life.
Into his fucking life, and not to shame or, laugh at the people writing them, but just that this exists out in the world.
Right. If we wanted to do that, we would put names in there, dates, times, names. I never have. If you're this zapped, I'll doubt you even understand the concept of what a podcast is, let alone have the wherewithal to sit down and listen to one. In all the Dear Vins in the history of Broad Street Breakdown, and there were over 125 of them, clocking in at 3-4 hours. No one from Dear Vin ever wrote me and said, hey, that was me. And if I did, I'd bring them on.
Don't say
So
that.
if the updated Dear Vins in 2026 on Pop the Trunk hear themselves on here and want to fucking come on and go, yo, that was me, but I'm now taking fucking lithium and I'm not this fucking crazy anymore.
Okay. I'll do the pre-screening interview.
I don't think we
Thanks.
should.
Thank you.
No, I don't think we should. I think we should go. Here's the link.
No,
Sign
don't
in.
even. Oh,
Yes.
no. Okay.
None.
Wow.
No screening. Just, yo,
Oh, my
hello,
Lord.
Joe Crazy. Here's the
Well-
link at this day, at this time. Just fucking sign in at this time and fucking let her rip.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, with that, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, Pop the Trunk presents to you the Broad Street Breakdowns, Dear Vin.
Waiting for my theme, guys. Just
What?
never mind. It's Billy failing to do his job.
Here's some fucking thoughts from some maniac. Here's some fucking thoughts from some maniac. Here's some fucking thoughts from some maniac.
I thought it was some fucking thoughts from some fucking maniacs. I thought that's what I was singing along with in my head, but it's before it, not after it. That's a great OG Gavin, the G Gavin on Instagram.
Beautiful intro.
Thank you, OG, for the intro. Billy.
I'm
Dear
ready.
Vin. Dear Vin. What they don't know, there's no elephants in the space. And Adam lives there handling the odds to space stations. Abel and Cain is just 164 drops of water that's gold in all the rain in earth, no matter how much it rains. I got the root of patrons. Casino as electricity around there, and I have the nose to be revolving around the nostril to be rubbing my betweens of hemoglobin and Eva. The end. That's it.
I thought that was going to go longer. I like that he made a statement quick.
You liked that it was brief?
That makes it better. Why does a lot of these have like a religious undertone at times? It seems.
Well, the second one goes way more off the rails. Would you like to answer that after the next one, or would you like to talk a bit? Do you get anything from that? As I would ask the boys, are you? Gavin would find things going on here.
Try to figure it out.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not finding anything in that one.
No, again, there's a couple.
That's
you know,
paranoid
recognizable
schizophrenia.
things
Right.
are-
But are you getting where he's trying to go with the
No,
recognizable?
no. Once
That
you
to
mix
me-
elephants in space with Adam, right
I
out-
finish that and go, my brain goes, paranoid schizophrenia. Let me read the next one. That's paranoid. You're paranoid schizophrenic. That one.
okay.
Dear Vin, please accept my friendship. I am pursuing the heart of my choosing, and then gives a girl's full name. I'll just say Teresa, okay? But he
Okay.
gives a last name. And the last name sounds familiar to me, Billy. So maybe, remember when there'd be like national news of a girl goes missing or something like that? It's a
Yeah.
name that sounds like that, or a
You've
name
heard
that
it
sounds
before.
like a girl we grew up with.
Gotcha. You
Or,
can't.
you know, or like, you go,
figure
oh,
that
I
out.
dated this girl, Teresa Blank. So I can't, maybe it's the name of something like that, you know?
Mhm. We might have
Please
to
ex-
research that.
Right. Please accept my friendship. I am pursuing the heart of my choosing, Teresa. A divorcee that I have no ill-gotten feelings from her husband before. If she chooses to leave me while we are together, I will have no problem and I will be happy for her. I would appreciate your acceptance of my wish to God, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Confucius, ... And he wrote the words ... Not, right? Allah he with us and the next husband before. If she chooses to leave me while we are together, I will have no problem and I will be happy for her. He's repeating again. He's just repeating.
Mhm. Mhm.
I would appreciate your acceptance of my wish to God, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Confucius ... Allah be with us and the next we meet or visit. Then he gives his full name, first, middle, and last, also known as, and then that's like a nickname that's similar to a graffiti name.
Okay.
This particular full name of his is a full Latino name.
Okay.
The girl's last name is an Italian name.
Okay.
I'm not saying these for any other reasons than to add something here, which you mentioned with religious paranoia. Italians and Latinos are always wrapped up in Catholic shit. Always. Him mentioning God, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh,
He's bringing them all in.
Confucius, is bringing them all in. So these both people in the first ones, there's clearly religious paranoia there going on, along with what he wrote twice.
Well, see, the fact that he wrote that twice, I call bullshit in that he actually would care if Teresa leaves him for the old husband.
He's lopping her head off.
Right. Oh, he would care big time.
She's chop suey.
Yeah, and if they were to be together, but she's married, so I don't know, I don't know why he thinks he stands.
She's a divorcee.
Oh,
that I have no ill-gotten feelings from her husband before.
Oh.
So does that mean he knows, homie? That's diabolical.
I think so.
So if one of our friends, right, has a wife and they're getting divorced and me and you are plotting on it, pack you up.
No, pack it up.
Pack you up, guy. Pack you up, Carlos. Hey, I can say a first name. It's one of the most popular names in that culture.
Right.
But he did give his middle and last name. And to be honest, his middle and last name could be, his full name could be any Latino in America, Mexico, Puerto Rico, any island or any South America. You know what I'm saying? It's like being named Michael Capinelli. There's probably a million of them. You know what I'm saying?
So my biggest question here, was that the entire message?
Yes. There's one more, but we'll go one by one. But I believe there's a connector between the two of the religious paranoia.
Yeah, but what exactly? He's not really asking you anything. He's just informing you of this person he loves and asking you to hear him.
You could argue that that's even crazier. So he just shared that information with a rapper from Philly.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What in his brain is the reaction to this? Do you see that name?
Yeah.
Does it sound very familiar to you?
Yeah, but see, I'm thinking of a movie character.
Maybe I am too.
Right.
Who was the girl with the Italian name that wanted to die? And it was a huge thing with whether or not we should do that in terms of mercy killings and Dr. Kevorkian, and that whole thing became a debate amongst atheists, religious people, and everyone in between.
Wait a minute.
What, you looked her name up?
And I know why we recognize it.
It's someone we know?
It's not personally.
Can you just say it?
Yeah, because we'll figure out if we include this.
Yes.
Teresa Caputo is the psychic woman with the big blonde bob hair.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
So
that
guys,
takes a different turn here.
There's this lady with
Is
this
she a
big
divorcee?
booth called the Long Island Psychic. She's somewhere out
Long Island
Medium.
Yeah.
She's somewhere near B on the island, and she's a bozo. Now, I don't know why Billy knows about her. Her husband got wrapped up with someone on the Howard Stern show, and Howard would call said person a bozo for being friends with them. But this Teresa Caputo is a bozo, and she takes advantage of people that are hurting by saying she's speaking to da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
So this
Now,
guy
she is a divorcee.
So there you go. So this guy, Carlos, is pursuing a romantic relationship with the Long Island medium. And, oh, no, hold on. He would appreciate he's talking to me. I would appreciate your acceptance of my wish.
Oh.
So he wants my blessing.
Does he think you know Teresa Caputo?
Is he in fact racist? She's a Paisan, I'm a Paisan, and he thinks we all know each other.
Do you? Maybe I think that too.
I believe so.
I mean,
Your
you
wife is a
definitely, it's like,
paisan. You get the is your father in the mafia? I got that all the time. You know, my father passed away. Then later in life, I got my stepfather. You know, if you're if you're sort of a gruff guy, South Philly, a bit of an accent, a gruff voice, may or may not wear a little bit of jewelry, may or may not smell good, may or not have a bouffant. All of a sudden, they're made guys all of a sudden. It's very racist. It's very racist.
yeah, I don't like messing with the other worlds. And now this guy's pursuing her. I just feel like, if she's
Well, the
not,
other guy's got elephants on a space station.
I'm more comfortable with that than going into like, mediums and trying to talk to
Oh,
the dead.
no. I mean, we could make jokes about that and they'll be funny, but you get into personal life, that's all haram. I'm not playing with that shit. I don't play with it when people think they're being funny. Remember there was a game Ouija board like sold in Toys R Us? Like, I don't think that shit's funny.
Right.
But none of
Right.
that. Pack all
Right.
of that up. Pack all of that up. Psychics, talismans, good luck charm. Pack all of that up. You're playing with forces you don't understand. Unless, of course, you're atheist, you don't believe in them. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? Have at it. It's none of my business where you're at as far as religion, lack thereof, or what deen you're on. But I'm just saying, I'm only saying it, and Billy's saying it, meaning keep it away from us. We're not saying that you can't do it. You could do witchcraft. Don't come near me with witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? With the Maloics.
Oh yeah, my wife has like, a lot of stuff. Like if you happen to be at a viewing or a funeral, like take your clothes off when you get home, get a shower.
Oh, all of that. All of that. My grandmother
Don't even
had
bring it in
gimmicks
here.
with the bed. Don't put that on the bed.
Right.
Don't put that on a table, a hat
There's
on a
certain
table.
things, shoes never go anywhere.
There's very dark stuff with Italian and Latino Catholics where it gets real close, real bad man, real close to witchcraft, like Santeria and all that stuff that people talk about and think it's not. That shit's all like derived from the worship of saints and all of that. That's all Catholicism stuff that you see Latinos and Italians doing, clutching onto saints and praying on the saints and doing these prayers and Santeria or brujeria and stuff. That's all an extension of that. Keep that shit away from me, bro. Away from me. Keep that up. You know what you got to keep away from me, Billy, before the final Dear Vin? Keep asking me about what my fucking sign is and astrology. Pack you up and all that witchcraft shit. Far away from me. And to be just completely honest, it's typically women. So I'm sure there's no women that listen to this show. No guy would be offended. You're a fucking boob if you're into fucking astrology. There's nothing lower as far as beliefs when you go like, oh, you know what I'm saying? If you go, I believe in ghosts, I go, absolutely. Right. There's absolutely something going on out there. Sure. I believe in this. Or witchcraft is real. It is. I'm saying it exists. You can't deny its existence. Whether or not you believe it's real or something, another conversation. But it exists. You can't, you know what I'm saying? But pack that up, you're a boob. If I don't want to hear it. Don't ever ask me what my sign is when I'm born. And then when I tell you, you go, oh, that tells me. Fuck you. Pack you up.
Uh-oh.
Dear Vin, I am a disciple of love, and I believe in a factual grammar construct with a story of morality.
Okay. Lacking
some ambiguity by establishing concise, undeniable facts, as opposed to the usual analogies. Those will still be strong poetic elements by the details the audience will need to decipher, will be solid grammatical construct. He's talking some talk, but then he just mangled that grammatically while talking about being grammatically sound.
That's exactly my thought.
So where he go? This is where he loses it. Those will still be strong poetic elements, but the details the audience will need to decipher will be solid grammatical construct. That was a little bit. So my spiritual journey can be documented for all of time in the now, present, tense construct being factual, both forward and backward. There was no comma between now present, in the now present. You know what I mean? Where there should have been. So he's really heavy cutting promos on grammatical, and his first sentence or two were there in terms of there was cohesive. I was, I'm there. I'm not saying I'm agreed, but I'm with him. The ultimate Trojan horse for this victory of evil. And he signs off, the eloquent G. Talk to me a little bit, Billy.
These are always so hard to like follow along. I feel like I get thrown for like,
Can I just add one thing? The
Yes.
last sentence mentions evil, which
Right.
if we're going there, all three of these people have some sort of paranoid, religious paranoid delusions. If you're willing to say that mentioning evil, the ultimate Trojan horse for this victory of evil, he says. That's how he ends it. So we're tying that into good and evil.
What is the ultimate Trojan horse, though? What is he referring to?
But prior to that is, so my spiritual journey can be documented for all of time in the now present tense construct being factual, both forward and backward. I don't know what that means.
But that's the Trojan horse.
But that's his
of evil.
ultimate Trojan horse.
So he's a
for
time
this
traveler. An evil time traveler.
Well, he wants victory over evil.
Oh. Against evil. Yeah, right. So
But he's a
good guy.
disciple of love.
Right. Okay. I mean,
So he's a time traveler.
of some sort. Yeah. According to him.
He's into the grammatical construct. Big. He mentions it twice.
Right.
A
But he
factual grammatical construct. And the other time he mentions a solid grammatical construct.
But once
So he's horny.
again, it's someone sharing things with you, but not really necessarily.
The fella that wants my acceptance / approval for the Long Island medium seems to really be the only one that wanted
reason.
something from me. Well, no, wanted something from me.
Right. I mean, we skipped over whether or not you're going to grant him the approval or not.
Oh, do I give him my approval to
Pursue.
pursue the Long Island medium?
Yes.
Yes.
He has your blessing.
Yes.
Well,
Carlos.
Carlos.
Have at it.
Good luck.
Good luck. She believes she's a medium, so if you're meant to be,
She might
if
already
she's
know.
playing with them forces, she'll know if you're a good egg,
Mhm.
and she may have you.
Yeah.
I'm going to according to her, Dean. You know, she's so fucking smart.
I would like to hear a follow-up since now, he has your blessing.
I
to
don't
see
think that's
where
going to
this
happen.
goes.
I want to know who the girl is that wanted to die, that the whole fucking world thought they should weigh in on,
Mm-hmm.
behind every religion, that this is a sin. Atheists go, you don't know what you would think, and everyone had a fucking opinion on whether. I have a memory of her last name being Italian.
Castillo Ramos, Noela Castillo, a 25-year-old Spanish woman.
No,
This woman actually did.
She was in. I don't want to make light of it, and my evil sense of humor would have said something else. She was in bad shape.
Right. Which typically,
You can't ask Claude.
I'm just this other woman's coming up because it happened this year. Yeah, I'm finding this. Miriam Lancaster is another name that comes up. She was old though.
Dang it. I thought it would come
It's
Right
it's
up.
because it's something recently happened.
Yeah, so it's the algorithm is triggering that girl's story.
Right.
The name Teresa Caputo reminded me enough of it to go, remember that girl?
That's a interesting topic for another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not this show either. Was that all of the Dear Vins, or do you have more?
That was another, well, it was the first Pop the Trunk of possibly more until B flips his lid and shuts it down of Dear Vin.
Here's some fucking thoughts from some maniac.
My timing will get better.
I don't know that.
Well,
I don't know that.
Pablo used to edit all that afterwards. I'm trying to do it
that's
live.
Terry Schiavo.
Terry Schiavo. Oh, that was
Teresa
a while
Caputo.
ago.
Terry Schiavo.
Right. Okay, that was a long time ago. Not long, but
so she had a stroke in 1990.
Right.
Led to cardiac arrest, which led to severe brain damage, and she was in a vegetative state.
Right.
But then it got really highly publicized in the early to mid 2000s.
Right.
She was kept alive for 15 years via feeding tube. Her husband wanted to remove it, saying she wouldn't want to live that way, while her parents fought hard to keep her alive. It turned into a huge national firestorm with courts, Florida legislature, Governor Jeb Bush, Congress, President Bush, protests, disabilities rights groups, and right to life activists all jumping in. The tube was eventually removed in 2005, and she passed shortly after. I don't remember that ending. So, that was it. That was crazy. And you're absolutely right that's a topic. Now, we always cover hip hop in some shape or form. So do these mental patients that like us talking rap, and current events want to hear us talk about Terry Schiavo's right to live, or I don't know. That's shit we would talk about on
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this episode. I'm gonna do a post Jerron Boots Ennis, Xander Zayas, Pop the Trunk. Not sure yet if B can join me or not, but either way, you'll get one this week. I'm really trying to stick to recommendations. And one of our listeners asked me about Third Base. And then someone else, I believe his name was Kyle, who's much younger than me, mentioned that he looks at us as the cheat code, as his big brothers. So I'm going to tell y'all, they are on streaming. No. What are the music things called streaming? Are they called?
Yeah, it's still streaming. Yeah.
So Spotify is called streaming?
Yeah.
I thought there was another
There's streams. It's streaming, baby.
Okay. Third Base, the Cactus album, Third Base, Derelicts of Dialect, and there's an EP somewhere out there. I don't know if that's on Spotify and streaming. The Cactus EP, I think. There's some remixes, the Marley Marl remixes on there. Third Base.
Yeah, the Cactus remix is on here.
Okay. Third Base, the Cactus album, the Cactus remix, and Derelicts of Dialect. Sam Sevup's production was brilliant. Prince Paul was brilliant. Richie Rich was brilliant DJ. Search and Pete Nice were brilliant MCs. If you're not familiar to their catalog or only familiar with their hits like Pop Goes the Weasel or Gas Face or Step Into the AM or Brooklyn Queens, do a deep dive. Third Base, all three projects. They recently did a reunion for the Hip Hop 50, and they've done some shows. If you by chance have a chance to go see them, go see them. All three guys are on social media, and Pete posts incredible stuff on his Instagram, incredible old stuff, all from the late 70s to the 80s through the 90s. So that's my recommendation. I don't know if you have one this week, Billy.
Yeah, mostly mine end up being Instagram pages that are cracking me up. And this
Yeah,
is
that's Gavin loves a
another
nice
one.
Instagram page too.
Have you heard of the Sir guy?
I'm not hip.
So it's the_Sir_guy. His name
Talk
is
to me about what he's
his
on
name is
about.
Robert McCulley, and it's one of these things that just showed up in my algorithm, and I'm happy it did.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I guess he can kind of throw his voice a little bit, but so he'll be like in line at a 7-Eleven or, you know, in a hardware like a Lowe's or something, and he does a woman's voice and he goes, "Hey, sir," and everyone starts looking for the woman that they can't find, and he's going along with it. And whenever no one's looking at him, like they're standing near him, but whenever they're not looking at him, he'll do it again. And like people are like searching for this one. Like I've seen ones where like they call the cops. I've seen one like they're like trying to get into the roof.
So he
'cause they
does
think
this
there's
over and over in different
different spots. Like yeah, it's just like it's similar to like the Cartnarks vibe where I could just watch them do it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah,
watch
of
this
course.
guy to do his voice over and over again, and it's fantastic. That's the_Sir_guy. You got to check him out tonight.
The Sir guy. Is he from the US or UK? This sounds very British.
I think he's US
Okay.
from what I can tell, but it is fantastic.
All right. Where can people write us again? One last time?
They can write us at mailbag at popthetrunkpod.com, and our Instagram is at popthetrunk.pod.
Okay, guys, as far as music, right now, we have a project called The Hidden Temple. It's unreleased B-sides, freestyles, older joints that have never been heard before. It's available digitally on jmtstore.com, but more importantly and more of an item, you know, a rarities item is we're pressing up a limited edition white label 12-inch of it, and I'm going to sign them all. Go over to jmtstore.com, cop that.
These
Hidden
items
Temple.
are not on streaming, these songs.
Correct. This stuff won't be, they're not on streaming and they won't be. You know, all my other stuff is, but this stuff won't be. Again, finishing up my new solo record. We have about 7 joints that we've been working on for AOTP to come after that. You can find me at BoxCutterPazzy on Instagram, at Vinnie_Paz on Twitter. What else am I forgetting, Billy?
I think you got it.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, Billy.